I am casting my vote for Dwight D. Eisenhower because I believe he will be the right foot forward for America in now and the future. So, on Tuesday, my birthday, I went to the doctor and to find the results of my x-ray and blood tests, and the results are good, which means I don't have any signs of cancer or cancer spreading or other stuff, tumor markers in my blood and that kind of shit. So that means I'm going to Japan. I mean, I won't 100% believe it until I'm actually there, but that was a great day too. I was so nervous the morning and the night before, and then I finally got the okay, basically. Very good. Now I can relax a bit and actually prepare for real. So I basically thought I'd take a while to reflect a bit on my hopes and fears about this trip, now that it actually is happening, hopefully. So I have more hopes than fears. That's what scares me maybe a little bit, just because I've been focusing so much on the positive that maybe something will go wrong. In a nutshell, what I'm hoping to get out of this trip is first to learn Japanese, because that's why I'm going. I'm not sure to what level I'll reach, but I want to definitely be. I mean, I've got in 3 years on my own, sort of. I've gotten to N4, which I recently passed. So with 1 year of more intense studies anyway, and living in Japan where they don't speak English as well as here, it should advance further than I've gotten just on my own. So I don't expect to come back fluent and understand everything and knowing 3,000, 4,000 kanji or something. But I'm hoping that. And the second is just to have fun in Japan, basically. I mean, living there for a whole year. And another thing is games, of course. Basically, I've made a couple of years ago or last year, I don't remember exactly when, I made this wish list sort of all the Famicom and Super Famicom games and Famicom Disk System games that I wanted to get. And I'm hoping to basically cover that list, even though I don't really expect to find the big ones, the rare ones. Although that's a dream of mine, of basically just going into some kind of thrift store or something and finding in like a bargain bin, finding a boxed copy of Magical Poppin' or something. That would be amazing. And then just like, what does this cost? 500 yen? I'll take it. But I don't really expect that. I expect that I will go into like a store and they'll have, like, in a glass case, they will have a copy of one of those rare games, and it'll actually cost just as much as it does on eBay, like a few thousand crowns, or like 15,000 for one of the really rare ones. The same goes with the Virtual Boy games. But it would be really, really awesome if I actually found one of those for cheap. Another thing I would say more dreaming than hoping, because hoping is more realistic, I think, than hoping. I hope for something with kind of a basis in what I think I'm going to do, and I dream is just basically just, totally taken out of thin air. But I'm sort of dreaming towards getting a Japanese girlfriend, basically, because I like Japanese girls. I have for a long time, and they're really beautiful, and they seem nice too. And but of course, it doesn't feel entirely realistic because I'm still fat. And although in Japan, that's a part of the second part, I'm definitely hoping to lose weight because there are my favorite snack here in Sweden, which I've basically destroyed myself on over the last 15 years, cheese doodles. They don't have in Japan, or if they do, they won't have the brand that I exclusively eat here. So that will just be totally removed from my diet, and I'll be walking and biking around everywhere, and I'll be also joining a gym in Japan, because I've been going now once a week for over a month here, and I'm starting to like it. So over the whole year, I am definitely expecting to lose weight, but I'm still wondering if, at least for the first 6 months or whatever, I feel like I'm going to be too fat for the Japanese women, because they're very thin usually, and the guys are really thin, so, and I'm not. So either, of course, maybe then not being thin is exotic, but I'm not hoping, I'm not gonna expect that. But at least I hope to at least go on a date or something. I mean, I think I should be able to manage something. And besides, in Sweden, asking a girl out or saying that she's cute or anything, it's completely connected with a gut punch of butterflies or whatever you call it. But saying it in another language is easier, I think, especially Japanese. And I want to practice conversation anyway, so I think I should probably manage at least something. But I'm not. But a dream would be basically just straight up getting a Japanese girlfriend, and long term too. Oh yeah, and the next thing was losing weight, but I already covered that basically. A really small one is just basically that I'm going to Japan with like savings account, and I basically want to have as much left there when I go home as possible. Just because when I go home, and I do expect to go home. Even though that was also a dream to stay in Japan, basically, either with a girl or finding a job, like working for NHK or something. That would be really awesome, but it's also nothing I'm really expecting, because it seems like with foreigners, you either work at a foreign company, which of course I could, or you work as an English teacher, which I'm probably not going to. I don't have any education in that regard. Yeah, where was I? Well, yeah, the savings. Yes, but if I come back to Sweden in a year's time, I want to have as much money in the bank as possible, because I've been living for the last 2 years. I've been living in a rented room. Before that, I was 4 years in a second-hand apartment. Before that, 3.5 years or so in a room again. Because here in Stockholm, the apartment market is terrible, and you need to have first a bunch of money in your savings to be able to borrow money from the bank, and then you get an apartment based on how much money you had to as your down payment, basically. And saving money is difficult. So I mean, but I want to, if I'm going to live in Stockholm, I want to have an apartment. I don't want to keep renting rooms, so I want to have as much money for that as possible. But that's kind of a separate issue, because it's not entirely Japan related. I'm going to focus on Japan now. But then on the fear side, I'm sort of have these what if worries scenarios, basically. Like, one if is just the regular medical one, like what if, because I'm doing blood tests every 3 months, what if something comes up, I'll have to go home, or what if I get something completely different, or if I get run over by a car, anything could happen. Of course, like the totally random stuff I'm not really worrying about, because that could happen at any time anyway. I could get like sniped in the head by some crazy fucker right now, but I'm not going to worry about that. But the blood test, it's going to be a little bit like every 3 months, like hopefully nothing comes up now. But in general, like, I've focused so much about the aspect of living in Japan and what I'm going to do and everything. I'm going to have so much fun, blah, blah, blah. So the actual school, like, I have to keep up with the school, and I have to, there are like tests once a week, and the people who give me student loans here, they're going to want the results. They want results, damn it, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to have to focus on the school too, and it feels like it's a definite possibility that I will sort of focus a bit too much on having fun, basically. So, like, what if I get there and school, the Japanese actual learning is too difficult? And that's also part of still what I'm still thinking about. This when I get there, I do this placement test to basically test my level to see which class I'm going to go in. If I go in a beginner class, intermediate class, advanced class, or whatever. And being that I have N4 already, I'm not a beginner, and there are like more than just like 1 or 2 levels, of course. It's more nuanced than that, I think. But should I hold myself back in the test to get like on an easier level, to not, because I don't want to get there and have to just study non-stop and worry about that, because I want to have time to enjoy Japan. So it feels like I should maybe hold back a little bit, but I don't want to hold back too much either, because I don't want to be in a beginner's class where they go through super simple things, and I'm just like, because I actually want to learn too. So that might be a bit tricky. But yeah, basically, what if studying actually is harder than I think? And then it's just basically, kind of like, what if I don't find any games, which I sort of like, yeah, I'm gonna find games. What if I don't have any social life? That's all one thing. Because in Sweden, I don't have much of a social life. And in Japan, it feels like I'm gonna have a little bit more courage, maybe, because I'm in a new country anyway, and I don't care as much as what people think of me and stuff. But I don't know, maybe I'll just, kind of go to school, go to whatever I do, and then be in my room and stuff. So I'm gonna have to push myself to actually talk to people and try to socialize, and get out of my comfort zone even more than just going to Japan. But in general, I have high hopes for this trip, for this year. I think it feels sort of like a license to try and renew myself, sort of, because after 1 year of no cheese doodles, walking around, better food there, I think, than here. Won't eat just as I won't eat like red meat all the time like I do now, and I think I'm definitely going to lose weight, and that's going to add a lot to my general sense of well-being and confidence. I'm gonna be able to just buy a whole bunch of games, which is always fun, and learn Japanese, and that opens the whole new window, and hopefully find at least have some kind of interaction with a Japanese girl. Would be awesome. I have high hopes. Hopefully they will get, what do you say, met, come true, whatever it's called. So yeah, now it's Saturday, September 8th? 9th, maybe? I think it's 9th. And it's 3 weeks and 1 day before I leave. Yeah, starting to feel it.